Today I'm going to be showing you guys a new strategy, and I kind of found this strategy by looking at a short on YouTube, and it also goes over, it's like the linear line strategy on steroids. It actually helps you find some pretty good moments. So this does apply the regular linear line strategy, but it also has some there's some extra indicators that actually help it make it into a stronger strategy. So I use this today. I'm going to be showing you how to use it for crypto, and then I'll go over a couple of the other assets with the strategy as well. But this is kind of like the linear line strategy on steroids, because it helps you find the key moments of getting into trades, when to get in, when to get out. So I'm going to show you how to set it up. It's pretty simple. Now, if you guys don't know what the linear line strategy is, definitely check my other videos on it. It's a pretty powerful strategy in its own. But let me show you how to set this up to kind of help improve chances. If you like the linear line strategy, then you'll like this strategy as well. So let me show you how to set it up and what to look for in the charts. Okay, so with the strategy, you can choose to do it with linear lines or without it. I prefer doing it with it because it makes everything. The linear line strategy just makes this more effective, in my opinion. But anyway, you need to set up your linear line strategy with the linear, linear candles. I've talked about this before. You go to linear here, linear regression candles, and you hit that one. And then once you do, you hide your candles. And after that, you're going to want to go to a new indicator called the LNL trend system. I'll show you how. We'll mask this one real quick. Now, one thing to note with the linear line candles here is if you have this set up, I have the plot line. I took off the plot line for this particular strategy because once you set everything up, it's just going to be a little bit distracting. So put in the regular linear line candles like I have in regular and other videos, but check off the plot line for this. It just gets too distracting, and you'll understand why. I'll show you with it. It gets distracting. But the next indicator you want to get is the LNL trend system. So I'll show you how this looks with the default. I tweak it a bit. So this is the LNL trend system. So this is, well, actually, I think I changed my settings. But anyway, I saved my settings to where it's not going to look like yours when you set it up. So I have it set custom, but anyway, it's going to look differently for you guys. But basically, what you want to do is you want to keep the only things you want to check. Well, let's just go to the one I have. The only things you want to keep is the show trend line, change neutral to a white, and then you want to go to show HTF trend line, and you want to change neutral to white. Those are the ones you want to focus on. And basically, bullish and bearish it's going to change color accordingly if it's bullish and bearish. So basically, that's all. And you uncheck anything else if it's there. So check this. Now, real quickly, I want to show you what this will look like with the plot line. Like I said, I disabled it. So with the plot line, you will notice that it's there, it's in between, and it's kind of just a distraction. It leads your attention away from the other two lines, and that's why I disabled it, because you don't need it for this example. So I turn off the plot line. So basically, and then you need another indicator. Now let me point out a third indicator. This one is optional, but it works really well to find moments. So I'm going to load this one up as well. This one is called the Simple. It is called the Simple Fibonacci by Trade Chartist. It's called the Simple Fibonacci. So you want to select that one. This one is optional. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. But I toggle it on and off. So what I think I have this set to settings too, but basically all you really need is, what I do is I turn and I extend the lines. So basically what this does is it automatically adjusts the Fibonacci for you as it's moving. So you can toggle that on and off, but you'll notice and you'll find the key moments here for the Fibonacci, and it auto adjusts as the candles move. So it's very helpful to have. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to turn that off. But I like having that on here as an option. And then the other indicator is you're going to need another indicator to kind of confirm things. You know, MACD, 80 and oscillator, whichever one you want to choose. I go over many options, but you want to have another indicator to confirm things. But anyway, let me show you how this works. Real quickly, we're going to be looking, and we turned off the plot line. So you want to focus on the moment when these lines cross. Now, it depends on what time frame you're using, but I see the best result by looking at this on the hour. So basically, you want to look at these two lines, and you want to enter when they're crossing. When it's crossing up, you're obviously going to be doing a long. When it's crossing down, you're obviously going to be doing a put or short. So let's just look at this real quick. And let's zoom out a bit. Now remember, these are linear candles. You can do this without the linear candles, but for me, it looks better. Looks better with the linear candles. That's why I have it here. But the linear line makes everything look better. But you basically want to come in when it crosses, and you just want to find some good entry points. Now you want to base this off of another indicator on when to exit. So you can use 80 and oscillator, you can use MACD, but you're going to have another indicator to kind of point out when a good time to exit is. Because there are some times that it'll give you a good entry point, but your exit point, you need to find it on another indicator. So find another indicator, because if you, and sometimes these are really good in its own, but sometimes they can lead into some false situations. But we'll go into that. So you want to find a moment where it crosses. So let's look real quickly. You see that it kind of crosses right here. So you want to enter here. You enter right here, and then you basically write it out. Now you can rewrite it out. Exit whenever you feel comfortable. Find yourself another indicator. But if you wrote this entire thing out for 2 days, this would have been profit. With Bitcoin, you would have made about, this move I think is about $4,000 with a 0.01, I believe. I think this is a $4,000 move with a 0.01. But let's look at some other examples here. We see that it's crossing right here. So we come in right here, and we write it out. You can write it out to here, or you can write it out to here. This one is about 3,460, I think, with a 0.01. And then right here we got, let's see, is this one crossing? That's kind of crossing. So anyway, you would come in and you would do a short right here, and then you write it out. And this is about a $4,000 move if you had the appropriate lot size. So this is a short right here. Now there are a couple moments where it will fake you out, so you gotta look at a fourth indicator and other confirmations, not just this. But for the most part, this shows you some really good moves. You see it crossing right here, so this is a short. You would ride this out, and you could look at your MACD here and enter here, and you exit when your MACD is touching right about here. So you have your exit point right there. You see that it crosses right here, and you can write it out, and you look at your MACD, you see it's touching the line right there, so you know when to get out. So this is another good entry point. So you see another example here of a short. You see that the lines are crossing right here. And if you wrote it out, you just look at your MACD or another indicator of a good time to get out. You can see that the time to get out would be probably right around here. And let's just see, I can't see. So from here to here would be a good time. This is a big trade. I think this is $5,000 with a 0.01 lot size. So this would have been a good trade. So you just follow these lines, and it offers a good entry point, but you need another indicator to find a good exit point. I recommend doing it with MACD, but you can also do it with 80 and oscillator. It works about the same. So real quickly, it works the best in my opinion for the hour chart, but let's real quickly look at some smaller time frames to see if this is any more effective on a smaller time frame. Now, when you do it on a smaller time frame, you're going to have to be more alert in the chart and more alert on your entry point and exits, because you will enter more consolidation zones and sideways zones if you do it. So anyway, we see the same thing here. See it crossing right about here. If you look at your MACD, it touches right about here, so you get out right about there. There's another entry point. We see it crossing right here. And then we look at our MACD real quick. So we enter here and we exit when it touches the MACD line, which is right about here. So this is another good trade right here. And real quickly, we see it crossing right here. And it touches the line right about up here, so this would be another good trade on a shorter time frame. So real quickly, let's look at a longer time frame. This will work. Let's look at the day chart. Kind of look at the day chart and the weekly as well. You probably won't find the signal as much. So this is the day chart of it going down. You see it crossing right here. You see it crossing right here, so this is a big signal of a downtrend. So you ride that out and you short it out, and you see the blue lines touching the MACD line right there. So this would be a point to get out. So this took 16 days. And then you see it coming back up right here. So you would ride this out, and it touches the line right about here. So you would be, this is a $5,000 move with probably a 0.01. And then that's kind of where we are right now. It looks like it's curving back up, but let's just go rewind here a bit. So we see it happen right here. It crosses. Now when you do it on like the day, the longer you go on the time frame, the longer you're going to have to wait. So if you want to do this more intraday, you probably have to go to the 15-minute. So anyway, you see that it's crossing right here. You ride it out until it touches the MACD line, which is right about here. And this is a $4,000 move in 13 days. So anyway, you get the general idea of that. Real quickly, I want to look at this on a weekly. Keep in mind, if you do this on a weekly, this is only really for the moments of the big moves. And I personally wouldn't recommend doing this on a weekly, because the odds are, well, you will know, you kind of will get the idea of when the bull run starts and when the bear market starts. But you see it crossing right here. You ride this out for a long time. You look at your MACD. Now keep in mind, when you enter here on a longer time frame, it is still going to be volatile. It's still going to do its thing. So it's going to be extremely volatile in these moments. You just make sure you have enough capital to handle the volatility. But anyway, it touches right about here. So this would have been, this might have been the bull run here. But this is $44,000 with a 0.01, I believe, and it took 182 days. So the one I look out for is on the hour chart, because it will pretty much lead into the good signals. It doesn't always lead into, keep in mind, if you do it on the hour, you're going to have to wait for the lines to cross, and then you have to find another indicator to find your exit point. I use MACD. But if you want to do this on an intraday level, it's going to be the 15-minute chart, and you will enter a lot of more moments where it will enter sideways, and you have to look out for those, and you have to be more alert on the chart. So what I would do is I would look on the hour and see when they're crossing, and have another indicator to find your exit point. But this strategy works really well. So tomorrow I'm going to be going over the strategy again, but I'm going to be going over how to use it for the stock market. The stock market's a little bit differently, because you have to buy contracts, and you can't do longer time frames. So you can, but you're going to have to do it on a shorter time frame. But anyway, I find this is a very powerful strategy. Anyway, if you like the strategy, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. See you guys for the videos.